To the town of Ashen Hollow rode a man they called Kane, with a dusty coat of leather and a stare that froze the vein. Every whisper spoke in warning, every window closed from fear, for the tales of Marshal Kane meant death was always drawing near. He had ridden through the graveyard where his soul was left behind, weathered hell and bitter judgment with a cold, unbroken mind. When he stepped into the twilight with his boots on ashen ground, every outlaw felt the shiver, every sinner heard the sound. There before him stood the last man of the gang who sealed his fate, one who burned his home to cinders, one whose sins were carved in hate. He'd been hunted for a decade, left a trail of blood and flame, but he found no mercy waiting from the man they knew as Kane. There was silence in the canyon, not a soul dared breathe or speak. Even devils learn a lesson when the strong protect the weak. And the outlaw's time was over, fate had carved its final line when the hand of Kane descended to the grip of his iron. Turn around, Kane said in quiet, face the man you tried to kill. But the outlaw's hands were shaking as the moment held so still. He had seen 1,000 gunmen fall to Kane's unerring aim, and he knew his story ended by the judgment of that name. When the outlaw reached for steel, it was slow as shifting sand. Kane had fired before a heartbeat even traveled through the man. With a single clap of thunder, with a bullet cut in flame, down the renegade was falling to the hand of Marshal Kane. And the people of Ashen Hollow stood in silence, bowing heads, for the lawman had avenged them in the long-forgotten dead. He stood quiet by the body, letting justice have its breath, for a man who's walked through hell knows the sound and weight of death. There was silence in the canyon, but a victory in the air, for the outlaw's final chapter met a steel beyond compare. And though Kane felt no triumph, only duty's bitter shine, still the town lit lamps in honor of the man with the iron. He rode out before the sunrise with no pride, no boast, no claim, just a battered horse beneath him and the whisper of his name. For a hero doesn't glory, he just walks the narrow line, and the wind sang soft behind him. That was Marshal Kane and his iron. And his eyes